alluded to. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to comment below, and I will go ahead and jump right into it and answer those for you. So the first strategy to finding off-market deals, and this is by far my favorite, and some of you may cringe when I say this, but it is a cold call. You find their contact information. Let's say it's 123 Main Street. That's let's say 400 units, or let's say it's something even more smaller. Let's say it's 5 units. Everything is public record. So I love just the standard cold call because you get the decision maker, unless there's a gatekeeper involved, right on the phone. And then that's when you can really start the dialogue versus using other channels. Because what I've experienced in today's climate is that it's very competitive, as many of you have been experiencing. So if you can reach people who are not raising their hand whatsoever, that are not even the market to sell, and get them from being not interested to them being interested, that allows to have a significant discount. So the property that I'm in currently right now, purchased it for $3.35 million. It's 80 units. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana. And if that was all, the first initial contact was a cold call, and it took multiple follow-ups, which I'll get into at a later point. But that was listed on the market, it would have easily sold for 4.1 or 4.2 million. Minimally 4 million, easily. And some of you may be asking, why did it sell, or why did the owner sell at a discount? That was just due to one, was able to build that relationship, and two, it was just all about timing. They needed the cash. Everything's public record, meaning that you can find who the owner is of the specific property. And then from there, you can do simple Google searches. There's skip tracing softwares, batch skip tracing. There is LexisNexis. There's plenty of databases that you can use. And there's free ones, been verified, it's not free. There's True People Search. But generally what I've experienced and what other investors, the feedback is the free ones tend to not be as reliable versus the paid ones. And I'll tell you, going the paid route will end up paying off versus going with the other ones that the data is not so good. And from experience, this is where the follow-up comes into play, and has been an absolute game changer for me. It's very crucial to have the follow-up because it takes between the 5th to the 12th touch just to get in contact with a decision maker, and that's speaking from experience. And a lot of times they are not interested or raising their hand, essentially. So you have to convert them from not being interested to them being interested, or just be top of mind. So I'll just give you a prime example. Is there was an 80 unit that was in Louisville, Kentucky, that bought it October of last year, but it took about the 6th touch point just to get in contact with the decision maker of the property, and they were not interested in selling. And it took 6 months of constant following up. There was yellow letters that were sent just saying, hey, just wanted to reach out, and just being creative versus just keep pounding the phone and saying, hey, are you interested? Hey, are you interested? And I actually took several trips out there to meet with the owner as well, and brought them coffee. And I always leverage, hey, I just happen to be in the neighborhood, would love to sit down and just better understand what you're looking to achieve. More than happy to, if we're not a good fit, point you in the right direction. So little things like that, just staying top of mind, because it's about timing from personal experience. And if you're able to build that relationship versus just making it transactional, that gives you the upper hand over the competition. And then also, when making these cold calls, which is what many people don't want to experience, is the rejection element, which the rejection is not fun by any means, still to this day. But one thing I've learned is just to not internalize it. So I'll just give you a prime example. You reach out to an owner. I'm going to go into some role playing. It's role playing starts now. Ring, ring, ring. Hey John, Sterling here. Wanted to personally reach out. I just bought Bentwood Apartments right across the street from your property and wanted to see if you consider selling. They say, not interested. I get these types of calls all the time. John, I completely understand, and I knew you'd say that before I even called. Tell you what, give me 30 seconds. If you don't like what you hear, I'll hang up on myself. Then go into the qualifying, meaning that if I was able to offer the right price, then would you consider selling? So little things like that, instead of someone says not interested, Okay, well, I understand. When would you be interested? So, sounding more as a professional and sharp as a tack is one thing that I like saying that little analogy. Just being very direct with the greeting, saying who you are, and then going right into the reason for calling because these people have they're very busy. So go into the reason for the call, and then they throw an objection, and then you overcome the objection, then go right into the qualifying.